What we do as a job is photographing places in 360. It can be a beach, a street, or a hotel. Now we could be the first to come here and teach the locals to become photographers, for them to have expertise that they never heard of and seen of, for them to use it in the future and pass it along further, for them to create something they wanted to create long time before but never had experience, no knowledge, and no equipment to do so. This is the first project of its kind. There is a statistic from Google that says if there is a panoramic picture on the map, there is 43% more chances that a traveler would click on it. So think about what can happen to Zanzibar, an already famous island, if it had street view. What we do is we create a wow effect that brings customers to your door. We can show them what Zanzibar really looks like.
After the Street View Summit of 2018, I met a guy that contacted me and asked, what do you think to come in Zanzibar to map the country? The idea was to invite me and other trusted photographers to join in Zanzibar and to make the mapping. And I told him, what do you think to do something better? We can go there, train local people, and make them to map their own country. I traveled to Google summits, and in one of them I met Federico. So we started talking about projects that we can do together. One of them was Zanzibar. I didn't think twice. When the offer came along, I joined the group, I joined the program, and we're here. We immediately called the other part of the trio, Chris from South Africa.
I was on one of my Africa shoots here in Botswana and Zimbabwe. Went back home to Germany, started uploading my imagery, and I got a message from Federico. He asked me if I would like to join a project, and I say, yeah, I would love to be part of your project. That sounds good. I mean, I've been here already all these years filming in Africa, wildlife, and I would love to, definitely want to be part of it. I mean, I would like to come join. I mean, I don't want to miss it.
Seasick or not.
And that's where it all started.
Seasick or not, we go to the boat.
As a tourist myself, I always look at the map before I go any places. I look at the neighborhood, I look at the people, I look at the picture, and of course, at the 360-degree Google Car Street View. And by looking at it, I make a decision. Do I go or do I not go? The goal is to fill the technological gap in developing countries. We will teach the locals how to create mapping contests to boost and promote tourism. With our specialized training, they can become mappers and promoters of their own country.
By this project, we are going to put Zanzibar in the map of the world.
The agenda of this trip is to come and train locals. That means that we will bring our equipment, InstaPro, that we are going to live with them. We're going to train them how to use it. We'll show them the tips, and we will do our best to make sure their knowledge is good enough for them to continue without our presence. The workflow of the project is this. We start in the morning with a brief and a teaching a lesson of the technical issues involved in the specific types of captures. There are three kinds of captures. The walking capture. We do it with a special designed backpack, one that we have created for them. In this kind of capture, you walk through small roads where the car cannot go, like the narrow streets of a stone town. The driving capture, in which we put a camera on the top of the car and we drive across the main roads of an island. Then there are capture of the interiors. We go indoor with the camera on a tripod and we create a path that later people can follow, going around inside it.
You have to send us the files. You have to send together with the card where to put the file in.
After the capture, we will teach them how to save the data. This is a very delicate and important part of the mapping process. This is why we will monitor them through all the process, both remotely and physically. This is the post-event monitoring step of the project.
For me to take Zanzibar abroad, the best way is to go through the street view, because Zanzibar is growing in its tourism growth at the moment. And Google Street View takes directly the visitor to the street level. So it's more than advertising, more than marketing, more than tour operator, more than global coverage. If we talk about our heritage, if we talk about our identity, if we talk about our uniqueness compared to any other islands in the world, one may not understand if there's no street level view like the one which is provided with Google. Some people think maybe it might reduce because somebody will say, I've already been there, I've already seen it. I say no. This is actually attracting people to come more because it will make them feel to be there physically. So for me, this project came at the right time, came as a blessing for taking that name to the next step of the outside the world.
We decided to come here and teach to local guides how to capture the island because they belong to that country. In this way, we do a technological transfer, so they improve their knowledge about this special kind of work.
It's a win-win-win project. It benefits the people, the Tanzanians involved in the project. It benefits the team long-term, and it also benefits the country. I think at a macro level, these types of projects drive a form of economic growth, ultimately. And the way they do that is by providing skills for local people around technology, around photography, and it provides them exposure as well globally. So it really equips the local Tanzanians here with a broad set of skills. It increases the profile of the country, and specifically Zanzibar, internationally, and allows people to get a broader sense of, or a clearer sense of the beauty here and why they may want to travel here.
Zanzibar is a paradise on earth, but they lack touristic promotion. We knew we could come and solve the problem. Zanzibar economy is strictly dependent on tourism, so we are sure that improving the touristic number, we are benefiting the large part of the population, giving them the possibility of a better life.
The benefit of tourism should reach to every citizen, because every citizen should have a smile welcoming the tourist in the country, because they should feel they are part of that tourism. They should feel that this tourism is benefiting them. If you look 5 years ago, we were only 280,000 tourists per annum. Today, we are 530 up to December last year. So for us, at the moment, is the major backbone of the economy. It's also the major employer. Half of the working force in Zanzibar is involved in the tourism sector. So with a street view, we can show all the wealth and richness and people, including their hearts, to the world.
Still, about half of the population still lives below the poverty lines.
Before the government decided to go into tourism, a lot of areas in Zanzibar, people used to live in a very poor type of houses. We call them hatched houses. There had been tremendous transformation of people's lives in Zanzibar. The government has designed ways and means of making sure that services from arrival of the guests up to the day the guests leave Zanzibar, the local people and the local economy benefits out of it. As a result, there is a big transformation of the standard of living of people that is derived from tourism. Without that, the local economy would suffer because there won't be any exchange of goods and services.
It is not due to the lack of ambition or intelligence. It is because they lack possibilities and a lot of things we take advantage of every day.
You have the possibility as photographer, as Google trusted, to help them to better promote that place and from that to have more income and rise up the quality of life.
Zanzibar, the place that we fall in love.
We decide to help them here in their own country because they are really smart guys but with less possibilities. So in this way we'll try to give them more possibility to improve their technology and to get a job and to learn more things, something that could be difficult to learn in a country like this one.
Young boys and girls will be one of the main key way of Google transferring. We would like to work very closely with the Street View. First of all, is to absorb all the knowledge that Street View has already acquired around the world, to pass it over to our youth. And we are going to work mostly with our graduate young students from the university.
One of the major problems that we are facing is youth unemployment. So we think this particular project will create employment for our youth. Such a skill, if is well received, will help them employ themselves. Instead of waiting for the government job, they would have very good skills that are very rare in Zanzibar.
We're moving.
The local Tanzanians involved in the project will benefit in multiple ways. This really gives them an additional set of skills that will allow them to differentiate themselves from other people, make them more marketable. It's also a team that I've seen that are extremely fascinated and dedicated to the work that we're doing with Google Street View.
So now we're going to the video mode. Remember, we start with the photos.
All the students snap quickly, understand quickly what's going on here. They just want to filming. Yeah, they love it. They just love to see these things, the camera working, the street view. They start to, from the beginning, to ask about everything. They are so curious and they really want to become a tracker and help that country to grow.
What surprised me is the intelligence of local people. They want to learn. They're eager to learn. They ask a question, but no, not one, not two, 102, 103 questions every day about the equipment, about how to do it, about why to do it, what's the best way to do it. They talk between each other and they argue what's the best way to make it happen. So they care about the country, they care about outcome and a beautiful picture that people can see on the Google Maps later. They will become mappers. They will promote their own country. They will pursue and realize the change. We are just here to teach them how to do it.
I believe you coming here in Zanzibar, it was a great opportunity and we are happy to have you. I accepted to be part of this project because I wanted to learn, to get an experience so that I can do this for myself. I can also emphasize young women to get involved in tech fields so that when they see me, they'll be more interested and think the possibility of doing this.
Once you set the camera, you can.
Kwanza kabisa nina furaha kubwa kuwa part ya hii project kwa ajili ya ku capture image za kuweza kufanya street view ya Zanzibar ambayo itasaidia sana katika kukuza utalii na kuongeza idadi ya wawekezaji kwa ajili ya hili taifa letu.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, and you have GPS and it's
mpaka hapo ulipata hilo, ulipata kwenye info sawa ya kamera.
This is an application, the one that Nicola did.
Hii project itanisaidia sana katika maisha yangu kwa sababu kwanza nimepata skills ya kuweza kufanya hichi kitu, kwa sababu mwanzo sikuwa naweza kufanya kitu hichi. Tumechagua baadhi tu ya maeneo, kwa mfano kama zaidi tunafanya kwa maeneo ya utalii, lakini baadaye tunaweza tukaongeza na maeneo mengine kwa ajili ya kuvutia wawekezaji wengine na vitu vingine. Kwa hiyo kupitia hii project nimepata hii skills na naamini kuwa naweza nikafanya zaidi na zaidi baadaye. Hilo la kwanza, lakini pia nitawasaidia na wengine kwa sababu baada ya kupata haya mafunzo naamini kuwa nitawasaidia na wengine na wao waweze kufanya kitu kama hichi, ili tuwe tuna wataalamu wengi ambao wanaweza kufanya kitu kama hichi ambacho tumekifanya hivi sasa.
As there are not many jobs in this country, for them this is an opportunity to become someone.
Good. Again, one more. You must remember that this thing is about, look, the cameras, yeah.
Now, having experience, having expertise in this area, we can take this agenda, we can take this scheme to any country of the world and do the mapping.
Or if you see if it's okay, someone not rob you.
Do you remember Juma told
Does
you?
the rob you? Someone not rob you, kill you.
Someone go.
This is our test run, first time, do these things, check it out, how's it work, error, trial and error, get things knowing how to get all the mistakes and straighten it out.
If you make a mistake or something, don't stop and start talking. There's no talking here. Yeah. You have to walk. If there's something, you have to stop and something is wrong. If it's a long stop the thing.
I hope for this project, after all this excitement and running up and down street view the places and show them around, when we fly back, we fly off this island, I hope, I'm sure they will take it over by change their lives by taking this more further. I can see that. I see that they will go forward with this project and keep going, keep momentum. There's still a lot to do. With our knowledge, what we left here behind for them, and to show their kids, show the other people around them how this camera works and get everybody involved. All the ideas, what we talk to them and things like that, to give them a better life on Zanzibar.
I really hope that this project will be a life changer for a lot of people here in Zanzibar. For the guys that will be active part of the project, but also for the rest of the population. We really hope to, in the future, to let that person, our local team, to teach the same to other person in order to pass that knowledge to the rest of the people that want to join this project.
Hakuna Matata.
GPS antenna. Yeah. Don't touch the lens. Don't touch the lens. Yeah. It's connected. Now the indicator that GPS is connected is this one. And we'll just wait. We have learned a lot from this trip. Especially what are the difficulties that you can find along the track.
The camera is off now, so we will come back when the sun shines again. We make a marker on the map, and we're coming straight to the section again. All right? Yeah. So we caught out by the rain here. We will proceed and see how it looks like on the other side of this island. Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Man. We're just in the middle area. Yeah. Okay, let's take the camera. Yes.
Now we can take the same knowledge and experience we have received to any other part of the world.
Zanzibar is the first place in the world to have this kind of project. But I really hope to become the project zero on a really biggest series of this one. There are a lot of countries around the world that can be promoted to the street view, and the knowledge acquired during the Zanzibar project will be shared to the other countries. Africa is mapped just for the 10%. There are a lot of other countries that can be promoted with the street view. We hope that the experience that we gain during the Zanzibar project will be bring to the other African countries to map and to promote more places like this one.
You ready?
I'm ready. You ready? Drone stays. We are. Drone stays.
Drone will fly high enough to see the island.
Now we're sure that we can map any country, any place, any island with our knowledge and with the help of the local government and local people.